Coming up on TekThing, Lenovo's smart display. It's like Google Home Max with a screen. Logitech Spotlight presentation remote. Block all the notifications in Chrome and more. It's all coming up on TekThing. Thank you, patrons. Without your support via patreon.com/TekThing, we couldn't make the show for you each and every week. Join the crew that makes TekThing possible at patreon.com/TekThing. And a big thank you to our patrons, Red Wing Computer, Dusty R, Forrest P, and Arthur J. Join the crew that makes TekThing possible, patreon.com/TekThing.
I'm Shannon Morse.
And I'm Patron Shoutout.
And this is TekThing, where we have something useful in every single show.
Today, there's nothing but frivolity and joy.
And gators.
We'll talk about alligators later on.
Yes, we will. It's awesome. I can't wait.
Awesome. It's terrifying.
Yeah, kind of.
Gators where they aren't supposed to be.
Exactly.
Well north of Florida.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. What does every smart speaker need?
I would say a touchscreen.
Okay, so we were less than impressed with Amazon's Echo Show. That's the $230 ILEXA Bluetooth speaker with a 7-inch screen. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is Lenovo's new smart display. If you're looking for something more than a big puffy speaker for Google Assistant, like that, Google Home Max, the big puffy speaker.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's got nice speakers, but it looks like a big gray rock in the corner of your house. I gotta say, the Lenovo Smart Display, possibly the most impressive part, beamforming mics, they were really impressive. I was in the doorway, facing the wrong way, like 20 feet away from the smart display, while a 3D printer fan was whooshing away right next to the smart display. And Lenovo Smart Assistant had 0 issues responding to my commands.
I had a similar experience when I was running water right next to this in my bathroom while I was just getting ready in the morning. And it was able to pick up everything I was saying, even though I was like brushing my teeth and washing my face.
Oh my goodness.
No issue whatsoever.
It's the speaker's interesting. It's like a 10-watt speaker with 2 passive tweeters. I've never heard of that arrangement before, but it sounded really good with Spotify or videos. You are not going to rage in full disco mode for 30 people in the kitchen at a party.
Nope.
But it's more than enough for background listening, foreground listening. And it got, at some point it gets loud enough that you're like, let's turn it back down a little bit. But
I'm playing with it.
the best thing about not having a big puffy rock is how easy it is to put the volume up and down. There are several ways of doing it beyond verbal commands.
It's awesome.
Smart Display does a fine job doing the basic Google Home stuff. What's the weather? Where's the nearest dry cleaner? Shouldn't I know that already? Hey Google, play the news. Sorry, I just did that. Really, actually, I was more like, play Social Distortion on Spotify. But whatever I asked it, it had 0 issues and it responded very, very quickly. I got to say props to Android Things running on the Qualcomm Home Hub platform. And both the 8 and the 10-inch versions of the Smart Display are running the same Snapdragon 624. And I gotta say, it's nice for the less expensive device to be just as perky and responsive as the expensive device.
100% agree with that. I would most likely purchase the 8-inch device just because I have a very compact household that I live in. So it would be nice to save a little bit of space, but still get all of those nice quality features.
Because, well, we'll get into that in a minute. But you're probably mostly interested in the screen. We took a look at the 10-inch version with a bamboo back. There's also a smaller 8-inch version with a gray back. The screen looked gorgeous, but heads up, you can really only use it in landscape mode. You can tip it vertically, but when you tip it vertically, you can only use it for duo calls. So make sure you've got the counter or nightstand space to lay it out horizontally before you make the purchase. One of the big things they talk about, like in the reviewer's guide, asking the smart display for a recipe.
It's cool.
It does. It does a really good job of formatting the data for easy reading once you've picked out a recipe. First it pulls up the web page, then if you decide to use that recipe, then it formats it out so you can actually read the stuff from across the room.
And then you can just talk to it and ask it for like the next ingredient, or you can tell it to go on to the actual recipe, which is pretty cool. I like that.
That's actually the point where I went and printed out the recipe because I found it so irritating to be like, next. You can ask it to view photos from Google Photos. That works really well too. The ambient mode will cheerfully play Google Photos or Facebook content or your Flickr stream or art. But for me, watching videos is where Lenovo Smart Display actually really got interesting.
Yes.
YouTube videos, nice. Especially given how we love Graham Norton in our household and we completely consume it via YouTube clips. But Game of Thrones, over breakfast cereal, has potential as long as the kids are out for the day.
Good point. I was testing this a lot with YouTube because I find with a lot of smart display type of products, or even when I just want to listen to audio, a lot of the smart home products don't list out like the subscriptions that I have. So I can just tell it, you know, Google, and then open YouTube, and it'll show me all of my subscriptions and the most recent updates from those, which is really, really nice. And I'm glad that it does that compared to a lot of the other models that are out there.
Okay, the Lenovo Smart Display definitely has potential as long as I don't try to bring it into my house. Okay, in the garage, but my beloved spouse is seriously against any kind of 24/7 Echo, Google, home listening device, even though Lenovo thoughtfully includes a physical shutter that slides over the camera should you be incredibly creeped out by the idea of there's a camera.
Thank you, Lenovo.
In your house. I didn't spend any time doing Google Duo video calls.
Same. I had to have a friend that also uses Google Duo, and none of my friends use Duo, so I wasn't able to use it.
The only people I ever call over video are my parents, and they're not ready to move off of FaceTime.
Same.
There are a bunch of options beyond Google Play, but as always, more streaming audio and video services would be nice. I don't expect to see Amazon Prime on it anytime. I think it's really cute if you ask it to play Amazon Prime, like videos, it just ignores you.
Really?
It doesn't even go, I can't do that. It's just like, you know, the angry dad response where it's like, nothing.
There's no Netflix on here.
There's no Netflix on there, which I was kind of irritated by.
Yeah, same. I want that feature available on this.
Well, yeah, I mean, it had Spotify, but it didn't have Tidal, but it did have Deezer. So it's the classic like grab bag of we have some things, we don't have others. Overall, though, I was actually really impressed. The screen, the audio, those beamforming mics I was just waxing on about earlier. Again, my wife won't let one of these in the house, so it would have to stick to the garage. But if you're looking for more than a big fake fabric rock, Lenovo's Smart Display should be on your short list. $249 for the 10-inch version, $199 for the 8-inch version. And remember, they run the same hardware inside. Nice work, Lenovo.
Yes, we like it.
Oh my goodness. I still can't believe the Echo Show is like $230.
Dude, I know. Like that's a surprising price. But oh well.
But it's got Amazon Music.
Yay! Let us know what you think of this device, and if you want to see other smart home devices on TekThing, email us ask@tekthing.com, or you can tweet us @TekThing. So I have never been very good at all at public speaking, and I realize that sounds kind of crazy given that I do shows online every single day of the week, but presenting yourself in front of a live crowd versus on a camera, I consider to be very, very different beats. So I have started.
It's very rare that the cameras attack you and attempt to kill you for something you said, which could happen at any time with a live audience.
It's true. So I have started doing a lot more speaking gigs, which is super nerve-wracking, but I decided to just put myself out there over the past two years or so. So I decided to invest in this new little product. It's called the Logitech Spotlight Presentation Remote, and if you're interested in it, you can find it over on Logitech's website, which you can see here on my computer. And if I click on buy now here, you'll see that it's $129.99 and it comes in 4 different colors. There's gold, slate, which is the color I got, silver, and a really pretty red. However, if you go over to Amazon, it's $86.98, so it's changing in price every day, but it's currently really cheap, so you save 33%, so you might just want to buy it on Amazon if you're interested. But basically, it caters to folks who want the freedom to move around on a stage, but still have access to their computer to control slides and presentation materials, and it allows you to let go of that kind of stationary podium where you have to stand the whole time, and have a more captive audience because you're able to like move around and talk to different people.
Now, before anyone emails, it's not like remote controls from projectors are this absolutely novel concept.
They're not.
But ones that work consistently,
exactly,
kind of nice.
And that's why I leaked this one, is because it was consistently working and it has a lot of really cool features in it too. So according to Logitech, it works at up to 100 feet or 30 meters via Bluetooth or a 2.4 gigahertz wireless connection. But I did notice some flakiness after I was about 15 feet away, which is half of that, which I'm not too worried about because generally I'm going going to be within 15 feet of my computer on a stage. If it was a bigger stage, which chances are in InfoSec that's not going to happen.
Or if you're one of the people that likes to walk out or around the audience,
very
test
true.
before you commit to walking out and finding out.
Definitely, yes. So in order to connect it, it does come with a little USB 2.0 connector on the bottom here, and this is their little proprietary USB connector, just like all the other Logitech devices that they have. So you automatically just like plug it into your computer, and then you go ahead and start whatever your presentation is. It vibrates to let you know that it's going to go ahead and start, and then you can start controlling it. So I currently have this set up where I can do nifty things like this that I will cover for you. So on the remote, you have 3 buttons on the front, and I'll go over which each of those do, but basically you just press any of them, it vibrates to let you know that it's on and ready to present. And then on the back there is a battery compartment. So you can replace the battery if you need to, but it's an 85 milliamp hour battery, which is rechargeable, that's charged via a included USB-C to USB 2.0 cable. By the way, I should mention too, this USB cable does not fit in the sleeve with the actual device itself, so you're most likely going to lose this thing. Else, I guess just keep it in your travel bag so you don't lose it, or just find another USB-C cable to charge it with. So that's kind of annoying. I wish this thing was just slightly bigger so I could carry them both together, but it's not. So whatever, Logitech. All right, so luckily it does charge very quickly, 3 hours. Not that I'm bitter.
I mean, you just said whatever, Logitech.
That's one of the only issues that I have with this thing, is this isn't big enough to fit this.
How long does it take to charge?
Just 1 minute for 3 hours of presenting. Yeah,
nice.
And I did test that before I did my presentation at WISP, and it totally worked, which was incredible. It will vibrate, and there is a small LED light that will light up red when it needs to charge, but it should stay charged for up to 3 months at a time. So as long as you're not presenting like 3 months worth of information and material, then you probably won't have to recharge this thing for a very long time. On the front are those 3 buttons. There are the next button and the backward click.
I'm just laughing because I've been in PowerPoint presentations that felt like they lasted 3 months, but technically,
me too.
The longest one I've ever been in was about 4 hours. Sorry.
So you have your next and your backward clicks, obviously, for your slides. There's also a top pointer button, and they're compatible with Windows and Mac as well, which is great.
Is it a laser pointer, or does it move the pointer around on the screen?
There is kind of a laser pointer on there. It has 3 different options actually, so I'll cover those for you as well. Cool. And you can use it with PowerPoint, Keynote, PDF, Google Slides, which is what I used it with, and Prezi, which I've never used before. When the receiver is plugged in, it tells the computer to stay awake too, so your computer's not going to fall asleep.
Good.
So without downloading the software, the most you can do with this, and if I go over to my presentation here about the Wi-Fi Pineapple that I did at WISP, the remote still works for basic stuff. Like I can click back and forth to go back and forth through my slides, and that's pretty much it. Now with the software though, this thing really shines. So some of the things you can do, you can set a timer that will count down on your computer while presenting. That will only show up if you have an external presenting screen that your computer's plugged into. So the external screen will show your slides while the timer is going to be big and fat on your computer screen. So you can see that when you're looking down. You will need to look at your slides on the big presentation like poster or whatever, so that you can see what's going on back behind you. So keep that in mind. You can set custom alarms too, though it is defaulted to 5 minutes, and I think 5 minutes is just fine. Alarms can have vibrations or not, depending on your preference as well. So if that vibration is going to cause you to lose whatever you're talking about, might want to turn it off. Now in the software, if I exit back out of here and I will go into the software option on my computer. So this is where you set everything, and the software is just a simple exe that you download and install. So this is where you can set your timers and alerts, and then you can go down to changing the pointer. So you can either have it highlight things. So if I turn this on and turn off magnify, and then I press that button on the top and hold it down, it's going to highlight things, which is really cool. If I turn on magnify and then turn off highlight, so this is going to magnify different things. So that's really neat, awesome. And then I'll click back into there. If I choose the last option on here, which is digital laser, this is going to create a little laser beam. And you can change the colors of these. Obviously, I have them set to purple and pink because those are my favorite colors, but you can easily control this with that top button, and it can tell whichever way your thumb is moving back and forth, which is really cool. And again, you can change that vibration of the remote. You can customize the back and next buttons too if you go back and choose those. So the next button, you can have it do scroll, a blank screen, fast forward, or just no actions at all. Same with the back button. You have all those awesome custom ideas that you can use it for. And that's about all there is to say about it. I used this for a speaking gig in the city in early July. I really loved being able to walk around and speak to different people and point out things behind me so that people could see them. I love the portability, the sleek design, so it really fits comfortably in your hand, and how long the battery lasts.
Can you turn on the spotlight and the digital laser and the magnifier simultaneously?
Well, I know you can. You
the
have
cloud
the option to
barf
turn
of
them
pointing
on.
devices.
Oh, I guess not. It just sets to the top one. But if let's see what happens if I turn that one off and then do that.
It magnifies.
Nope, it's just magnifying. What if I do highlight and magnify? Will that just do highlight? Yeah, it just does highlight. I knew it.
I had to know.
So one or the other, that's your option. So this would be really good for teachers. It could be great for students if you have to give a presentation at class, and it would probably totally wow your professor. And anyone that's going to give presentations, whether it's a keynote or whether it's a talk at your classroom or whatever it might be.
For the young people watching at home, remember, don't be like Calvin. Don't expect the binder to make up for 30 pages of nothing.
No, exactly. You still have to have very good presentation slides or whatever you are talking about on your in your talk. So make sure that's good. But anyway, that's about it for this, and I absolutely loved it, and I'm really, really happy that I invested in it, and I'm planning to take this with me anytime I give a talk because it really helps with my ability to get on a stage and talk to people, and I think it helps with my nerves because I'm not grounded.
You have something to clench onto.
I have something to clench in case I get really nervous.
Like a life ring.
Yeah, I feel like it does feel like a life ring, kind of.
On behalf of Shannon, I'd like to say if you've got some hot tips on getting through presentations you'd like to share, please email ask@tekthing.com. They could be technical, they could be performance-oriented, but we are always listening. Ask@tekthing.com. We love your questions, your tips, and your suggestions of products and ideas to check out. You can tweet @TekThing, @Snubs, or @Patrick Norton, or just email. We told you just a minute ago, ask@tekthing.com. And a big shout out to our patrons at patreon.com/TekThing. You pay the bills. You are the reason we can do the show each and every week, and I thank you. Hey, join the crew that makes TekThing happen at patreon.com/TekThing. And if you can't donate, we understand. Keep sending in those emails. Keep tweeting those questions. And hey, if you could spare a moment or two to give our video the thumbs up on YouTube or like our Facebook page or review TekThing on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher, we would really appreciate it because it all helps. Thank you so much for supporting TekThing, no matter how you do it.
We got an excellent Twitter question this week from Lord Ball. I think that I'm saying that correctly.
I think so.
Lord Ball says, @Patrick Norton, @TekThing, how do you block notifications in Chrome? I have it set to block, but I still get pop-ups that ask if I want notifications. Every time on Tom's hardware, it gets annoying. Even though I keep on saying thanks, I still get X'd. It's so darn annoying. Thank you, Lord Ball.
You know, I'm going to
I
quote
understand how you feel.
Lord Ball directly. Damn, it's damn annoying. Every single time.
Say it. Don't demonetize us, YouTube.
Oh, yeah, well, don't even. In any case, I actually loved Lord Ball's question because I have been getting assaulted visually with requests for Well, I've actually been using Firefox a bit more than Chrome simply because I don't have every website on the planet asking me to, for notifications. Would you like to know? Would you like to know? Hey, Shannon, would you like to know?
Bro,
would you like to know?
Bro.
Yeah.
It is so annoying.
Yeah, and it's if you don't turn things off or individually ask, or sometimes even if you do, the web page will not listen to your no, I do not want your notifications. So it turns out in Chrome you can allow or block notification from all the sites in one fell swoop.
Yes.
And thoughtfully, our friends at Google have put together an entire page on turning notifications on or off. It's just that simple. So
That's awesome.
If you want to see what it looks like, and I know you do because nothing's more exciting than watching people click through the interface in Chrome, is go down to not help, but settings. And we're going to go to advanced. And somewhere in here is content. Content settings, control what information websites can use and what content they can show you. Notifications, and bam, done. Oh, until I hit my tab again by accident. Now all notifications are blocked.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it makes me really happy.
Yay, there is a way to turn them off.
There is.
Cool. I very rarely go into all my settings after I download something for the first time, so I should definitely do that.
Yeah, block all, turn off ask before sending.
Yes.
I hope this helps, and I hope that there isn't, I have a feeling I'm going to go to one particular website and it's immediately going to have figured out a way to circumvent that because internet. Tweet at TekThing or email ask@tekthing.com. We are waiting to help you with your technological issues.
We got an email from Chad. Hi, Chad, who says, can you check out the Nokia 6.1? I'd love to hear how it compares to the Moto G6. From Chad.
Remember Nokia, the mobile phone company?
I do.
Microsoft bought them in 2014, sold them in like 2015 or something. HMD Global Oi is the home of Nokia phones now. They've been making Nokia phones since 2016. They are not part of Nokia, but they are partnered with Nokia and across the street from Nokia's home offices.
Oh.
The phones from Nokia are built by Foxconn, which you may know from quite a few Apple products.
Really?
These are all great things to hear so far. This is the Nokia 6.1 with Android One. And the best thing about Android One is that you are going to get updates for 2 years straight from Google.
Heck yes.
Yes, especially since, as we have noticed over the years, the less expensive a phone is, it seems like the less likely you are to actually get updates. This is actually a pretty slick phone. It is lovely. It's got a Qualcomm Snapdragon 630 processor. It says right here it has 4 gigs of RAM, not, ladies and gentlemen, in the United States. What it does have is a pretty good looking screen, and it is milled from a brick of aluminum.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Yeah, so if you had friends who had it in like a Nokia 6 and said it was the slowest thing since, well, whatever's slow in your universe, don't sweat it because they made a big upgrade on the processor. They also have USB-C in this one. They also have a headphone jack, which oddly enough is at the top of the phone, which I just find a striking
That's
innovation.
so old school.
It is old school, and when we say that, we're actually positive about that. But the thing is, you are only going to get that 3 gigabyte, 32 gigabyte version in the United States. You want to watch where you order it because, like Amazon's Choice, for example, doesn't actually include a warranty, and it's GSM only. So that may or may not be a problem. Personally, I think aesthetically it's quite sweet. The accents look good, the screen looks good. I am thrilled that it does not have a glass back. I am significantly more thrilled that it actually has a phone jack on the top.
Yeah.
The fingerprint sensor is on the back, which allowed them to sort of decrease the bezel sizes a bit, but they're still pretty big bezels. One thing to worry about, depending on which carrier you have, there is no CDMA support on this. And
good to know.
You may think you're clever. I will order the 4 gigabyte version with 64 gigabytes of RAM. Don't, because it doesn't have a lot of the GSM frequencies in the United States. That can be problematic. Available through Amazon and Walmart for about $250. Reliability reviews for it are kind of all over the map. Reviewers love this phone. They universally find the camera to be meh. And the darker it gets, the more meh the camera is, which is
no surprise.
Yeah, it's kind of typical for a phone in this price range.
That was kind of similar to my experience with the Moto G6.
Yeah. Nice phone. Reliability may be a question mark. Availability is probably going to be a question mark. We'll try to get one in. At this point, I'm leaning more towards the Moto G6. But like I said, a lot of reviewers absolutely love this phone. And I do love the fact that Android One is going to get updates directly from Google.
Which is great.
Because as one reviewer said, you know, the thing about the G6 is you're probably going to get one update.
Yeah.
Way out in the future.
One of those days. Yeah, we'll reach out to him and see if we can get one in. We still have the G6 in-house, so we could totally do a comparison between the two if we can get one.
If we can get one.
Yep, so we'll chat with them.
We will try. And a big thank you to Hack5 for the studio space we record in. If you haven't, do yourself a favor, check out the Privacy and Security Podcast right here, hack5.org. Then go check out the superior pen testing and USB automation tools over at hack5.org/gear. And I would like to specifically call out this critter right over here. That is a Wi-Fi Pineapple NANO, one of the 6th generation Wi-Fi auditing platforms from Hack5, run in PineAP, and managed by a rather intuitive and friendly web interface. If you're wondering what's going on in your network, get yourself a Pineapple, begin the sniffing, and find out. I'm just saying. Don't you want to know what's going on in your network?
And then you can ask me how it works, because I know all about it, and I have one at home.
Yeah.
Super fun. We also have like a few here in the house, in-house, because we work here. So remember, once in a while, put down your phone, step away from your screen, close the laptop, and do something analog, like go to a beach with your family, like I did. I went to North Carolina last week, so that's why we pre-recorded last week.
Where are the pictures of the Youngling Lager?
Oh man, dude, I was day drinking every day, which I do not suggest. That is a big thing. I don't suggest day drinking, but I did because I could. But I was there for a big family reunion, and it was amazing. I won't show you pictures of my family, obviously, for privacy concerns, but I will show you this picture of this amazingly gorgeous sunset panorama that we had. So we had sunset over here in the west, and then on the east, we had this gorgeous view of the water. Oh my gosh, it was incredible. And then I was able to go to this incredibly cool little sea turtle rehabilitation clinic.
I was like, why is the sea turtle in a box?
It's in a rehab clinic. So something was wrong with it, whether it had like a fin tied around the fishing line, or maybe it got hooked, or maybe it got hit by a propeller on its back, or maybe it was frozen, or whatever, or maybe it was just sick. So
they're going to return. I was all upset about sea turtles in a box, and then I saw this.
And then he saw this. Yeah, that was another friend that I made, so that was an alligator. Randomly.
You were up in Wilmington.
Yeah, I was near Wilmington.
Gators ain't supposed to be up in North Carolina.
I don't know why there was a gator there. Yeah, and the guy that worked at the little fishing center right next to there was just like, oh yeah, there's also a 6-footer. This one's a little smaller, but yeah, you should check it out. There's a 6-footer in the inlet. And I was just like, cool, I'm never swimming in the inlet ever again. Awesome. So that was fun.
You might get eaten by a shark out here, but at least it's not a gator that's going to roll you over and over again at the bottom of the inland waterway.
Yeah, and that was like, I took that picture right at the top of that little floating
dock. I'm assuming there were several feet between you and the water.
No, not really. You could dip your fingers in the water right there, like one of my friends did. She stuck her fingers in the water.
You know, we have a word for that in New Jersey and in California. Stupid.
Darwin?
Yeah. Well, no, people don't realize it. Alligators?
They can jump.
And they can move really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like way, you see those legs, and you're like, and then they come along booking at you at high speed.
Yeah, he was about like 4.5 feet or so.
Oh. Yeah. Just enough to do permanent damage and terrify you from ever going in the water again. I have feels about alligators. They're lovely. Keep the swamps flooded. Keep the alligators in the swamps. Preserve nature. Go, go, go. Just, I don't want to be anywhere near them.
I've never been that close to an alligator before.
Will you ever be that close to an alligator again?
Nope.
There you have it. I'm Patron Norton.
I'm Shannon Morse.
We'll see you next week on TekThing.
You should see the rest of the photos. It was crazy. We got off jet skis right next to the dock, and then one of the people working there was like, "Hey, you should go over there and check out the gator." And we were just like,
"Gator?
Really?" And my sister was like, "Oh my god, husband, get my GoPro. I have to get some Instagram pictures." And I was like, "Brittany, this is really stupid." So then we.
Did she actually call him husband?
Yeah. He is officially her Instagram husband. Like, he's gotten really pro at taking pictures of her for Instagram.
But husband.
Yeah.
Like, if I called my wife, like, I'd be in a box and you'd never see me host anything. So I'd be buried somewhere dead. She would beat my ass to death. Wife. I mean, I may affectionately call her beloved spouse once in a while.
Get my GoPro.
Husband, get my GoPro.
She's gonna kill me.
Co-host! Get the lighting! Yeah, it's gonna go over really well around here.